Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Actor Clifton Powell has a bone to pick with the black community. That's right, he on y'all head. Yeah. Clifton was recently interviewed on a podcast, and he talked about how black folks are the only folks who think acting is real. Yeah, he said that Joe Pesci and Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, they can kill 50 people in a movie, and it's just acting. But if he does something, it's real. He said, I am a trained actor, and I should get the same respect as De Niro, Joe Pesci, Al Pacino, Morgan Freeman, and the rest of those guys. I ain't got no problem with that. Clifton Powell is one of the best to ever do it. It's a shame that he don't get more action. But we know how that go in Hollywood, that's what they do. I have never seen Clifton Powell drop the ball. The dude is razor sharp. He is, if Clifton Powell was on the SWAT team, they would call him in the most serious cases where they got a hostage situation and they need somebody who can do it from a long distance with precision. He don't miss. Yeah, I've never seen him miss. In the same clip that he's in being interviewed, they showed an excerpt of Clifton in some type of store taking a picture with a woman, and some dude walks up and says, "There go the guy who RAP'd his daughter in Woman Thou Art Loosed." Woman Thou Art Loosed is a film that Clifton starred in where he played the boyfriend of Loretta Devine, who was the mother of a character named Michelle, who was 12 years old, played by Kimberly Elise. And there was a scene where Clifton had to RAP her. And he said he's been getting a lot of flack from that. Now, that piece right there, it made me think about the time that I tried out for a role in Players Club. It was one of those scenes, right? That scene, well, not one of those scenes, but that particular scene. And it was the scene with the guy who played Junior. Obviously, I didn't get the role, and I look back on it, and I'm like, man, I'm glad. That was a blessing in disguise for me, because I don't want to have something out there like that on me. I don't want to have that type of image out there, because I know even though it's just acting, it's something that is hard to get out of people's head when you play that kind of role. Man, you can go out there and shoot 300 people, be the Terminator and all that stuff, and people just say, oh, it's just acting. But if you do a role like that where you doing something where you violating a woman or you violating a child, it's hard for people to get those type of images out of their head. And man, I'm talking about, I count my lucky stars that I did not get that role, because I do not want some type of image like that of me out there. So I absolutely understood where he was coming from when he talked about that, because that's how people are. And it's just acting, but that's how people are. And that guy who played that role, he's been in a lot of movies, but usually, this is crazy, and I'm in the entertainment industry. Usually when I think of him, that's the role I think of. It's a powerful thing, it's a demonic thing. It's a supernatural thing to do something like that, You gotta have an out-of-body experience, It really takes an uncivilized mutt to do something like that to somebody. And maybe that's why it's so difficult for people to get that type of imagery out of their head. But holding something like that against Clifton Powell is not fair, because that's not the first thing that I think of when I see Clifton Powell, ironically, because he's played in so many films. He's done so well in so many films. He's been so convincing in so many films. He said that he saw a woman in a store who walked up to him and said, I don't want my kid. I think he said taking a picture with this guy, him, because, he's always playing roles where he RAP women and kill women. So I don't want my daughter taking a picture with him or whatever. And he was really offended by that. And I can see why. What the role that I remember him most for, that I always like, that I like the most, I think, I really like the role that he played in Friday. That role, I think, was it Pinky? Oh man, he nailed that thing. Say one more, say mother. Didn't I tell you? Man, that's funny. But he can go from being funny to being extremely serious and believable. Such is the case when he played the role of the older guy, I guess the sugar daddy in, was it Dead Presidents, I believe, where he checked Loren's tape. Yeah. Where he checked Loren's tape, and he was, dating Loren's Tate's baby mother. Lorenz had went off to the army and Buddy stepped in. And he was in that car, and he pulled up on the side of Lorenz and the girl that was in the car, and he was sucking on that lollipop, and he said, yeah, trying to give us some money or whatever, take this money. He sunned the hell out of Lorenz. Funny as hell, but then Lorenz whooped him in the hallway in the apartment complex. Dope. That was a really, really dope movie. That was a really dope movie. But he's played in so many roles. He's played in very believable. And he mentioned when he played Martin Luther King. He actually played Martin Luther King. And it was very believable. Kind of favored Martin Luther King, He had it down pat. Clifton Powell don't miss. He do not miss. And I do believe that the only reason why Clifton Powell don't get more action is because of that Hollywood bias. That's the only reason, because he don't miss. He's very good. He's a character actor. He can pretty much step in any role and knock it out the park. I'm talking about on the first bat. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.